Good morning, everybody. I hope y'all are doing good. It is approximately 8:53 a.m. I'm really glad to have each and every one of you here. It is a different background for this particular video, and it is because I was having a lot of technical issues yesterday, and I just don't want to risk it, y'all. I got really upset, and I talk about that in my last two videos that I posted. So if you want to know what was going on, what God revealed to me concerning my anger, um, I was ready to give up. I was ready to throw in the towel and yeah, so if you want to know more, check out that video. But for this particular video, y'all, we're jumping into First Kings chapter 6. We did chapter 5 yesterday. So we are just going to zip and zoom, y'all. I really hope y'all are having a great day. If you have any prayer requests, definitely put them at the bottom of the video. I'll be more than happy to write your name down and pray concerning whatever it is you need prayer for, okay? First Kings chapter 6. It was in mid spring in the month of Ziv, during the fourth year of Solomon's reign, that he began to construct the temple of the Lord. This was 480 years after the people of Israel were rescued from their slavery in the land of Egypt. The temple that King Solomon built for the Lord was 90 feet long, 30 feet wide, and 45 feet high. The entry room at the front of the temple was 30 feet wide, running across the entire width of the temple. It projected outward 15 feet from the front of the temple. Solomon also made narrow recessed windows throughout the temple. He built a complex of rooms against the outer walls of the temple, all the way around the sides and rear of the building. The complex was 3 stories high, the bottom floor being 7.5 feet wide, the second floor 9 feet wide, and the top floor 10.5 feet wide. The rooms were connected to the walls of the temple by beams resting on ledges built out from the wall. So the beams were not inserted into the walls themselves. The stones used in the construction of the temple were finished at the quarry, so there was no sound of hammer, axe, or any other iron tool at the building site. The entrance to the bottom floor was on the south side of the temple. There were winding stairs going up to the second floor and another flight of stairs between the second and third floors. After completing the temple structure, Solomon put in a ceiling made of cedar beams and planks. As already stated, he built a complex of rooms along the sides of the building. Let me see here. Attached to the temple walls by cedar timbers. Each story of the complex was 7.5 feet high. Then the Lord gave this message to Solomon: Concerning this temple you are building, if you keep all my decrees and regulations and obey all my commands, I will fulfill through you the promise I made to your father David. I will live among the Israelites and will never abandon my people Israel. So Solomon finished building the temple. The entire inside from the floor to the ceiling was paneled with wood. He paneled the walls and ceilings with cedar, and he used planks of cypress for the floors. He partitioned off an inner sanctuary, the most holy place, at the far end of the temple. It was 30 feet deep and was paneled with cedar from floor to ceiling. The main room of the temple outside the most holy place was 60 feet long. Cedar paneling completely covered the stone walls throughout the temple, and the paneling was decorated with carvings of gourds and open flowers. He prepared the inner sanctuary at the far end of the temple where the Ark of the Lord's covenant would be placed. This inner sanctuary was 30 feet long, 30 feet wide, and 30 feet high. He overlaid the inside with solid gold. He also overlaid the altar made of cedar. Then Solomon overlaid the rest of the temple's interior with solid gold, and he made gold chains to protect the entrance to the most holy place. So he finished overlaying the entire temple with gold, including the altar that belonged to the most holy place. He made 2 cherubim of wild olive wood, each 15 feet tall, and placed them in the inner sanctuary. The wingspan of each of the cherubim was 15 feet, each wing being 7.5 feet long. The 2 cherubim were identical in shape and size. Each was 15 feet tall. He placed them side by side in the inner sanctuary of the temple. Their outspread wings reached from wall to wall, while their inner wings touched at the center of the room. He overlaid 2 cherubim with gold. He decorated all the walls of the inner sanctuary and the main rooms with carvings of cherubim, palm trees, and open flowers. He overlaid the floor in both rooms with gold. For the entrance to the inner sanctuary, he made double doors of wild olive wood with 5 sided doorposts. These double doors were decorated with carvings of cherubim, palm trees, and open flowers. The doors including the decorations of cherubims and palm trees, were overlaid with gold. Then he made 4 sided doorposts of wild olive wood for the entrance to the temple. There were two folding doors of cypress wood, and each door was hinged to fold back upon itself. These doors were decorated with carvings of cherubim, palm trees, and open flowers, all overlaid evenly with gold. The walls of the inner court were built so that there were one layer of cedar beams between every three layers of finished stone. The foundation of the Lord's temple was laid in mid spring in the month of Ziv during the fourth year of Solomon's reign. The entire building was completed in every detail by mid-autumn. I'm sorry, mid-autumn in the month of Bul during the 11th year of his reign. So it took 7 years to build the temple. I gotta wake up, y'all. So, as always, y'all, I have lessons that we can take from this particular chapter. And I'll be butchering names, y'all. So please forgive me as I'm reading. Even if I were to look these names up and practice them a million times, I'm probably still going to say I'm wrong. So, number one, we find that foundation matters. So, just like Solomon laid a strong foundation, the first lesson that we learn is that our spiritual foundation matters most to God. Okay. So, before we build anything, our career, our ministry, our family life, it needs to rest on the right spiritual principles. And that was the thing with me. I kept getting frustrated with God because I kept planning, I kept writing the vision, making it plain, and I was letting God know, okay, God, I'm going to do this. I'm trying to pay this off and that off, and I want this, this and that. Fill in the blank of whatever it is you've been seeking God about, but you feel like He's not responding. God cares about the foundation. He cares about the work that needs to be done. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Okay. We have to put God first, y'all. So it needs to be on the right spiritual principles. It needs to be in the right order, on the right foundation, on the solid rock. If you build your foundation on the sand, what's going to happen? It's going to sink. Okay. Number two, quiet, intentional work. Okay. Quiet, intentional work. So the temple stones were prepared off-site so that no hammer or iron tool was heard at the temple site. So sometimes the most sacred work happens quietly in preparation out of the spotlight. And this is why God often has us in isolation, just like me. I have been in isolation for it's been 1 year and 4 months that I've been in isolation, okay? And God has had me in an isolated place. But while I'm in isolation, He has me building. He has me writing books. And like I told y'all, He had me write 4 books in April. I got them all done before the end of April. And so I knew it was a timeline that I had to get these things done. So God is very intentional about everything. And so oftentimes we feel like our life is falling apart, but God is actually building our life back up because it was already, on sinking sand, right? So it teaches us about the value of patience, preparation, and honoring the process, not just the end result. So we have to not despise small beginnings because oftentimes when we're writing the book, we're not seeing that anyone's purchasing the book. We started the blog, but nobody's coming to the blog, right? We started the business, but you're not getting any clients. Nobody's coming to ask for your services or different things of that nature. And it could cause you to want to give up the work. But it's quiet, intentional work. God will send the people. You just have to be patient. Keep planting those seeds. Keep doing what God is telling you to do. Keep making the YouTube videos, even if you're just making shorts. Do the work, right? Number three, God cares more about our hearts than our structures. Okay. So we're learning that God really does care more about our hearts than our structure. So in the middle of the chapter, we find that God reminds Solomon, okay, that his presence depends on their obedience, not on the grandeur, right? The awesomeness of the building, of the temple, right? It's a reminder that God looks at our hearts and our faithfulness, not just our outer accomplishments. And so when I look at my master's degree, I'm always looking at like, gosh, this doesn't even mean a thing. It's just a piece of paper. I did put in the work, I did put in the effort, but at the same time, it was at a time in my life where I should have been putting that same amount of effort into God's business, God's temple, God's kingdom. You see what I'm saying? If I would have devoted all that energy, time towards what God wanted me to do and not be so focused on having the achievement of saying, oh, I have a master's degree and oh, I got a bachelor's degree, it didn't matter. And it's one of the things I really regret getting because God has been using me without the degree. God has been using me without the accolades and, just different things that come with having a degree and doors opening because you need a degree, etc. God could have still opened those doors without a degree. So if you don't have a degree, it doesn't mean anything. God can still put you in doors that a person with a degree is only supposed to get into, okay? Number four, Holy detail and beauty. Okay, so this is very important. The temple was filled with cedar, gold, carved cherubims, palm trees, and flowers. So God is not against beauty and excellence. He delights in the details we dedicate to Him. Okay, so it's a reminder to bring our best to whatever we build for God, whether that's our work, our family, or our ministry. And so it's going to bring it back to me. Our body is a temple. So how was I dressing my temple? I got on here. I really didn't put any effort. I was just going to get on, make a video, and I felt like God wanted me to put on something better. So I changed my shirt. I put a headband on because now we're representing Him. So just like His temple is beautiful, He wants us to be beautiful too. Okay, He wants our temple beautiful. And I'm not saying you got to get on here all the time and have a face full of makeup. I don't even wear makeup, y'all. I don't know how to apply it. Um, but take the time to take care of yourself. Take care of your temple too, okay? Because it is God's temple after all. Number five, patience and completion. So it took 7 years to complete the temple. God's timing is perfect. And we're going to get into all of that, y'all, in later chapters. But we have to also pay attention to numbers. God often speaks through numbers. He kept showing me 111 for a while there. And I believe 111 means new beginnings. So God was basically letting me know new beginnings. Okay, so if you're seeing numbers, definitely look it up. Check out Strong Concordance, I believe is what it's called. I don't use it often, but it also could be God's way of also speaking to you too when you plug those numbers in. Okay, so God's timing is perfect, and some things take time. So some things are just going to take time, y'all. There's no way we can rush God. We can kick and scream, throw our tantrums, fall all over the place. Um, you know, put our fist up. I wouldn't recommend you do that. Don't put your fist up to God. I learned the hard way. Um, so yeah, definitely y'all, just wait on God. I know it gets hard, but our obedience and faithfulness in the process matters as much as the finished product. So God does want us to be about His business. He does want you to write the book, start the business, create the blog, start the TikTok. I mean, whatever He's leading you to do, you have to do it. Okay. So, but we also need to make sure our heart is right. We have to also make sure our motives are right. We're not just doing it so we can earn an income. We're not doing it because we want the fame, the glory, the honor. All of this matters to God before He calls you forward. And sometimes you are going to be in the wrong heart posture, and then you're going to have to stop, and He's going to deal with you, and then He's going to have you come back. Okay. So, God bless each and every one of you. I hope this was amazing and helped to open your eyes to God a bit more. See you on the next video. Bye bye.